Hi, this is your fire making video. You need to start with 2 paper bags like this. If you don't have paper bags, you can use newspaper, but it has to be black and white. Colored print will hurt the inside of the stove, the insert. So either black and white paper or paper bags are good. You'll also need some kindling. We have 8 pieces over here, about this size. And like I mentioned, you can buy that down the street at Key Market. You also need a couple of medium logs. I have at least one that's split. You need one that's split like this. And it's okay to have one that's whole, but it can also be split. And then one larger log that's also split. Okay. We're going to start by cleaning the inside of the glass, which needs to happen every now and then if it sort of gets caked up, because you want to see the pretty fire. So to open it, just lift the handle like that and pull. And over here, there's a scraper. We'll leave it here, right here. Just open up the little razor blade. Don't cut yourself now. And all you need to do is scrape the inside a little bit like that. And it cleans up pretty quickly. And then every now and then you just tap it off. That looks pretty good. And then just close it up like that. Okay, now to actually start the fire, start with the paper and rip it into 2 pieces. Scientifically, as you can see. Crumble it up. Lift this up. You see we have a layer of ash in here. There's, like I mentioned, have to have a little ash in the bottom. This is about 1 inch. You can go up to like 3 inches, and that helps sort of insulate the fire. And without it, it doesn't burn as well. So I'll stick one in that corner. Lola will like this part. Okay. Now we're going to put the kindling on. So I'm going to start, there's a couple larger pieces, I'll use those. Actually, put those on top. Little pieces first. The key thing is you need to have air in between every log, because air is what makes a fire happen. I'll go ahead and do it like this. All right. And then on top of that, you take the split log, and that goes down. I'm going to put the split one up front, and then the round one in the back. And then take the big old mamma jamma log. You can see I have air in between all the different logs. Okay, so then to get it going, you match. This is the really fun part. I like fire. And then you need to make sure the handles are down, put the left door in first, and then the right door. And like I mentioned, that will leave a crack here. And we're going to leave this open, crack like this, so it gets oxygen in to start the fire. It's really important to get the fire started right, because if it doesn't get started right, you just fight it the whole time. There's also these little vents down here. They're already open. No, actually, they weren't open. You have to open those up. Just slide it and open it. And those will be left open when you have your fire going. When you're all done, they can be closed down. So this will go for probably about 7 minutes to get it roaring. You can see it's already picking up. Oh, 7 to 10 minutes, yeah. It's already starting to roar, and the kindling's starting to catch, and then everything else will start catching. And I really enjoy this part. Let's see. There's a crack. Okay. So after the 7 to 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and shut this door like this and shut it. And then after about half an hour, I'll check the fire again to see if it needs any more logs. If it does, you can add one, but you need to feed your fire when it's still going pretty strong, because it takes a fire to keep a fire going. You can't really, unless there's tons of ashes in the bottom, you can't really just throw a log on it. Yeah, I mean the ashes turn into coals, of course. The wood turns into coals. And unless there's a whole bunch of coals on the bottom that are really red and have been in there for hours, you can't just throw a log on top of it. And then probably put a log in every hour if you want to keep it going. At the end of the night, just make sure everything's shut down and that the little vents are closed and it's safe if it's still burning. You just have to make sure it's all closed up. The other thing is with the ashes at the very end, you know, I mentioned they have to be in there at least 24 hours after the fire's over, because ashes in a canister like near a fence or other wood can light the fence on fire, and that would be really bad because then the house could burn down, and of course none of us want that. So the key thing is with the ashes, make sure the fire's been dead. I would leave it at least a couple of days before you put it in the canister. The canister isn't waterproof, so keep it under the overhang. And with the canister, don't dump it out into the garbage can until it's garbage day, and the garbage can is already out, you know, on the curb, on the street. And by the way, the garbage cans, they like to have them at least a couple of feet apart each, so that they can pick it up with their little mechanical arm to dump it. Some people don't know that. And I think that's about it for now. We're just going to let this fire go and try to check back in a little bit. But you can see it's going strong. Okay.